Well, hello again, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger. Good morning and happy 4th of July. This is a standout day for me. I was talking to my wife last night, and when I was a kid, I didn't look forward to any day like I look forward to today. And later on in life, as the family drifted and splintered off into their own families, it's just like it's a sad day for me unless I get to see my family. And today I am going to be getting together with my older brother. So it's not everybody, it's not my cousins and the firework wars we used to have. Aunt Lois's picnic with the watermelon and the pro fireworks display basically in her backyard. She lived, her backyard butted up against a golf course, which was around a lake, and they did the fireworks there for the town of Des Plaines, Illinois. So it was like, as kids, we would go right up to the fence and lay there and watch them. And I remember a dud went off, and an ember came down and burned my wrist badly, and I was crying. I had to go in, and she put some ice on it for me, which I don't think I would have gotten the ice if it was at my house. My mom, the nurse. So yeah, 4th of July, a wonderful day in my mind. And it's going to be made wonderful because of family. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're on the outs with your family, is it worth it? Like yesterday, my wife, her best friend's father died. And life is too short to get hung up on the petty stuff. So if you're on the outs with somebody, I'd just twist your arm to give them a call. You don't have to put yourself in a position to be manipulated or get hurt. There is that safe zone, and it's better than nothing. So that's what I was thinking about. And we're going to be running some errands today. Hopefully we can do a nature walk too. I'd like to go somewhere. There's a couple waterfalls in the area. Although probably dried up. It's not exactly the rainy season, but depending on what the weather's like, we'll see about that. So I wanted to recommend Cavenders. This is, I don't know if you can see this Greek guy on here. So the story on this, Cavenders all-purpose Greek seasoning, a tantalizing taste treat, an ancient Greek formula. Now, formula, I love that word. You remember the formula, the Firebird formula, and they had the stripes on I remember a blue one, and it had like a powder blue and then a white stripe all along the bottom. And those formulas, they didn't have the spoiler. I like that car. I mean, yeah, it couldn't have been more 80s looking. But let's take a look over at the Cavenders all-purpose Greek seasoning. Cavenders has been made in the Ozark Mountains. We all know how many of the Greek formulas are stored in the northwest Arkansas area of the Ozark Mountains. Since 1969, the spice blend of 13 ingredients that is best wow, they're putting it on salads, wigas, scrimps, veggie, more scrimps, popcorn. They got just chops and red potatoes with some fried fleshy bits, or is that cheese sticks? It's mutated cheese sticks. It is best used on anything you would normally salt and pepper. We're proud to call Harrison, Arkansas our hometown of our seasoning products. With the loyal support and word of mouth advertising, hey, that's me, from our customers, our seasoning blend would not have enjoyed this long-running success that is known from SC Seasoning Company Incorporated. We invite you to try Cavender's Greek seasoning for yourself and be creative. Put it on your popcorn. Put it on those scrimps. The gateway to Branson, Missouri, Eureka Springs Historic Area, and the next Buffalo National River, and the Buffalo, oh, where did I get next? Oh, there, okay. The gateway to Branson, Missouri, Eureka Springs Historic Area, and the Buffalo National River. Harrison is the national. Wow, that's a big word. The gateway to Branson, Missouri, Eureka Springs Historic Area, and the Buffalo National River. Harrison is perfectly located for a stopover during your next visit to our area. Come visit us Monday through Friday at 8 to 5 p.m. CST, or call us at 870-741-2848 if we can assist you with ordering any of our products or merchandise. So, Spike and Catherine Cavender, here they are, lovely Catherine and handsome Spike with Jabrucius Cavender, and there was a lot of fish, so apparently they needed some seasoning, and it was so beautiful in the Ozark Mountain setting of Harrison. The family owned and managed a manufacturing company for many years. Founders Spike and Steve Cavender made the unusual spice blend and gave it away to friends as interest and as well as requests grew. But they haven't changed. They've expanded, and they added on to their 5,000 square feet, updating their machines and lines to be more efficient and productive. But they haven't changed any in the ingredients to make Cavender's Greek seasoning so delicious. So here he is. There's Spike, and Spike and Son, I'm guessing. That's his and hers mom jeans, it looks like, and horrific plaid shirts. Here we see there's the Greek guy sprinkling it on what appears to be a T-bone steak that is the size of his midsection. Now, I gotta tell you, I was watching YouTube, and it's one of those things where it's like I scroll down and I'm going through and I've got like 400 windows open, and then I'm getting distracted from the video, and watching the moon landing was faked video for the 400th time, and on the right this thing popped up and it was like this guy making a patty melt. He's an African American dude, and he goes through and he's like really like a homespun feel, like this guy just sounds like a really nice guy, and he's talking about he likes Yeller cheese on it's simple, and he ate this patty melt at his school. They used to make these. Now, patty melt it's a burger patty smothered with onions with Swiss cheese is how I know how to make it. And then there's rye bread that you butter and you fry it like a grilled cheese. So it's just a bomb of a burger. It's a grease bomb, but that like rye bread, and I'm not a big rye bread guy, but man, on a patty melt, if you've never tried that, it's something worth trying. So he's cooking his burger, and he's like, you got to get this cavenders. He said, this Greek seasoning, this is the stuff. And he sprinkled it on both sides, and he's like, this is it. So the story of us trying to get cavenders is a long one. We went to a few places. We met a really nice lady giving out samples of flavored whiskey. I had a peach whiskey and a blueberry whiskey at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a little and they didn't have the cavenders. We had to go and get the guy, and he was like kind of frustrated, doing a fast walk on me, and then he was like, oh yeah, he knew what it was, and he's like, it's not like Lowry's, it's different, it's really good, and blah 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 blah. And he said you should just order it on Amazon. So we did. We ordered our cavenders, and then this package showed.
Did you mention how I ordered it from Walmart?
Yeah, what happened with that?
It was like going to be the next day, and I could pick it up, and I was like, great. And then it's like, oh, we're going to substitute it. We don't have it. We're going to substitute it with Mrs. Dash.
Yeah, Mrs. Dash. You want Mrs. Dash, or do you want this guy with his massive T-bone steak? It's the size of his. It's as wide as his old ancient Greek ass from the Ozark Mountains. Look at that guy. I want that guy. I want him seasoning my T-bone. So this package eventually arrives, and again, are we getting? So that Walmart deal fell through.
Oh yeah, I got a refund.
We ordered it from Amazon, but it came in like a Walmart bag, and it didn't have our address on it. It said Mandingo on the.
It said like M Zulo or something, or Zuma or something.
Zulu or something. Zulu. It was something that sounded like, if you hear that, you pictured a guy with a spear. I'm sorry. I'm going to hell. So this bag was sitting in our vestibule, and every time I would come in, it said eye level. It was on the landing for the stairs. So I would come in and see this package, and like it was just there for a week. So finally yesterday, I'm coming in, and I grabbed it and I shook it, and I'm like, that's got to be Get Cavender. So I tore a hole in the bag and looked, and I saw for chops, roast, meat, loaf, chicken, fish, turkey, hamburger, seafoods, wild game, use on cooked vegetables, gravy, soups, stews, casseroles, eggs, poultry, dressing, salads, and vegetable juices. And I was like, that's my Cavenders. So yesterday was steak night. Gamti got me a T-bone. And I got it out, I sprinkled the Cavenders on both sides, and then I took a little glass and I put sweet red wine, olive oil, and lemon juice in equal parts. And then I basted it, and I put more Cavenders, and then I poked it with a knife. I played psycho. Then I flipped it over and did the same thing. And it sat out on the counter for 2 hours, and then we prepared it. And that steak, it was really, really good because of this Cavenders. So that's the story about Cavenders. I don't know if I'm going to be putting it on my, what can I say about this elixir? But this is some really good stuff, and it's worth. Like, don't go to Target or go to Meijer looking for it. It's going to be sold out. You can get this like king size jug of it. It's like $5 or $6. I think it was $5.87 for this. But I got to tell you, that steak yesterday was so ridiculously good, thanks to Cavender seasoning. Now, what else was I going to talk about today? I know there was something else. What else was I going to talk about?
I don't remember. I know you said something about making a video about something.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I've been watching Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow, and then that Arabic-looking girl. I forgot her name. What's that Arabic-looking girl from?
Old man or something?
Yeah, but that girl, she's from something else.
Oh, Arrested Development?
Oh, the little girl in Arrested Development.
I don't know her real name.
Yeah. So this show is like Jeff Bridges is like he's like he's like a retired Jack Bauer, James Bond type, and blah 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 blah. John Lithgow is like a government type, and I really don't want to give more of it away, but there's some intense violence in it, this type of thing. But it's an interesting and it's a well-made show called The Old Man with Jeff Bridges. I've been enjoying that. There was something else, and I know as soon as I shut the camera off, I'm going to remember this. Yesterday, I had that T-bone out. When I got it out,
Yeah.
I cut a little piece of the meat off of the red part, and I brought it out here and I put it on a little piece of paper, and I came up to Keita and I was like, Keita, this is good, so I told him, and he's Keita, man, he totally, if I'll say like, you can go sit by mommy now, he'll immediately get up and go sit by mama. He's really smart. So yeah, I give him the Holy Sacrament, this uncooked meat, and he's like, no, not for me. And Donna's like, see if he eats it. And I'm like, I know that look, he ain't eating it. So it sat there for 10 minutes, and then I came back, and I've got these, I call them pokey tool. So I took a pokey tool, cleaned it off, skewered the meat, and then I lit a lighter in front of him, and I did a little, what do you call it? Shish kebab, Keita's barbecue, and it was like crisping the meat up, and I was spinning it, and his eyes were like, and a little smoke's coming up, and he's like looking at that, and he's like, so then I was like, Vitin's barbecue house with the Cavendish, and the only difference is the size of the meat. It wasn't as big as my torso. It was as big as a 16th of my pinky nail. So I put this beautiful little sizzling piece of meat down, and he was all licking his chops like, so good. Like Keita loved it. So that was a story of Keita's barbecue, and now I know how to get him to eat a little bit of meat. So that was really something. Because naturally, wouldn't you think that the cat would be wired not to eat the cooked meat?
Not my baby.
It's supposed to eat like, kills a rat and just.
He would be afraid of a rat.
He's afraid of bubbles. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me for this one. And be careful if you're going to be lighting off bombs. I don't know about that. That thing with the mortars, I don't know about that. It's dangerous, and other people have pets that get traumatized by that.
Or people who have PTSD.
People who have PTSD get traumatized by it. It almost seems like if it's done, like if you live around a bunch of apartments and you just go into the middle of the cul-de-sac and you're just boom blowing shit up, like that's what I don't know. It seems like you should go out by the river where it's like no man's, like the junkyard, and do that shit. And again, I hate to be like bossy and telling people what to do on their national holiday, because when we were coming up, the back of Aunt Lois's, it was an acre, and it was surrounded by trees, and I don't think you could hear it, what we were doing in the front, or like if you were in the next house, I really don't think you could hear it. The stuff now with the aerial bombs and the mortars, and the one year I was in here soldering and I couldn't take it. It was so loud. And I'm in there, you know, and then boom, it would go off. And so I said, you know what, if you can't beat them, join them. We're going out. And we went out and we sat by ourselves on this driveway because they were Hispanic and they just weren't like, they were having their own party and it was their fireworks and we were looky-loos. So we were the ones who were being uncool. But to be honest with you, I couldn't handle it. I was starting to like really lose it. And what am I going to do? Call the cops on 4th of July, you know? So I did, you can't beat them, join them. And they lit that stuff off until 3 in the morning. And there was another party of really drunk white people who were loud. They were like, doing the same thing a block down. So it is what it is. And apparently the police here, you would think after 11, they would shut it down. No. Somewhere along the lines of like 2010, 2015, unless you're brown or black, the police don't, you know, if you're a black guy, they shoot you 60 times if they see you. But everybody else gets a pass.
There was another shooting in Ohio. I don't know if you even know about that.
Oh my Lord. I shouldn't laugh about it. I laugh as a coping mechanism. All right, you guys, stay safe. Be smart with your boom booms. Try to stay cool. Hug your pets. And peace.